Right, I think this is the first loss on this channel that I'm going to be reacting to, and I just want to say that for the very few viewers and subscribers that I actually have, I'd like to think that you can trust. I'm not a YouTuber that's just going to be making clickbait videos just for the sake of it. Sometimes I'll make a video about a Rodrigo link, which doesn't take much time and much effort to make, and it actually does for my channel. It does relatively well. And then other times I'll do a 15-minute video, which takes me hours and hours of like talking to the camera and editing together pieces, and it will get no views, 20 or 30 views. But for me, I enjoy it. They're the kind of videos I like to make because it's a topic that I'm passionate about. So I'm saying all this because if I get angry with the team, I want you to believe me that the reactions are real, and I'm not just doing these videos for the sake of it to try and attract attention. But shit, was that a terrible first half? I'm making this video at the moment at half time. I don't know what the second half's going to be. Maybe we're going to get better, and I will do a balanced opinion at the end of the game. But that first half was appalling. There were so many poor players in that first half. But first of all, I want to start with Asensio and Rudiger. I was a lot more annoyed with Asensio than with Rudiger. Don't get me wrong, both their mistakes were ridiculous. But Rudiger, he's just come back from injury. He's played, I think, 4 games in the last 9, 10 days or something like that. He's not at his best right now. Asensio has had a few games off. He should have been up for the opportunity. He's coming in to replace Huijsen. This is his chance to show Xabi Alonso, I'm going to compete for a starting spot next season. And Rudiger's mistake, if you've ever played football, it's a technique problem. It happens. Sometimes you go to pass the ball, you're not aware exactly how far away your foot is from the ball. You take a swing, you miss the ball. It happens. Everyone makes these mistakes in football. Asensio's, not only was it a technical mistake because he controlled the ball and it was a lot further away than he wanted it to be, it was also his mentality. He thought he had so much time on the ball and he was so relaxed and lazy especially when you're at the start of the game. I cannot understand that. The players are fresh. He must be aware that the PSG players are going to be on him, are going to be pressing, and he was way too relaxed there for a player who should be. He's almost like he's been playing for 10 years and he thinks that he's a guaranteed starter. I was very disappointed with Asensio. Response to going 2 goals down was not good enough. It was not good enough. Mbappe, Vinicius, they were selfish. At one point, Vinny put in a very nice cross for Gonzalo Garcia, but apart from that, they were dribbling way too much, trying to beat 2 or 3 players. They were shooting when they could have passed. I mean, it's only half time as I'm recording this. Let's see what happens in the second half. But I don't see how these two are going to play together next season in the big games. Fine, against the Getafe, no problem. We can play both of them. But in the big knockout games against the top teams in the world, I don't see how these two are going to play together. Bellingham, another problem I've got. Ancelotti had this problem. I think Xavi's going to have this problem. Now, obviously, Xavi knows more about football than I'm ever going to know about. I'm very aware of that, but I just don't see how Bellingham is a centre midfielder. He doesn't have the mentality for it. He gets frustrated too easily. He doesn't track his runners well enough. Bellingham always puts in a great effort. I have no problem with his effort. And when he's further forward, he's one of the best pressing, attacking midfielders that you'll see because he runs more than nearly any other attacking midfielder, wide player than you'll see. But as a centre midfielder, he switches off way too many times. He also doesn't have the passing completion, let's say. I know it's a strange stat, but what I mean by that is Bellingham is very good at playing a killer final pass or trying something creative, but he doesn't have the consistency to play in centre midfield because he often overhits his passes or he underhits his passes. It's just not his strength. And when you're playing, at some points in that first half, he was the deepest player on that pitch. And when you're playing that role, you've got to be on it with your passing. You can't be making mistakes. And I just think we're not going to get the best out of him throughout the season because Bellingham's best qualities are his goals, his late runs into his box, his creativity. It's not defending, tracking back, controlling the possession, dictating the tempo. It's not his skill set. So I think Dani Ceballos would be much better suited for that role. But I'm wondering how long we're going to play Bellingham in this position before Xabi Alonso realises. Right, the game's finished 4-0 then. Bit of an embarrassing way to go out of the tournament. Yeah, I can't say I'm overly sad because it's not a tournament I care about. And I'm glad the players are going to finally get a break now. But it's a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a reality check because we were riding high after beating, Pachuca and who else did we beat? Salzburg, but this was the real test, and yeah, did we fail? It's going to be a learning test for Xavi Alonso, of course. we weren't that great last season, so to expect him to miraculously change everything so quickly was not going to, seem a bit unlikely. But I think he made some mistakes today. I don't think the starting 11 was very good. I think Bellingham was played out of position. I don't see how Mbappe and Vinny are going to play together, and certainly not an Mbappe that's just come back. I don't see how any right Mbappe had started that game. I wouldn't have started Mbappe there. Um, yeah, what else to say really about this? There was a couple of positives from the game. I suppose I could talk about the positives. Militao's back and Carvajal's back. Absolutely fantastic to see those two. And actually, Militao was probably the best player on the pitch in that second half. He was doing slide tackles. He was shooting. I mean, we're going to need Militao next season. Obviously, there's a long way to go for these players. It's great now that they're going to have a month to keep improving their fitness before the season starts. Hopefully they will have the stamina. No, resilience is the word I'm looking for to be able to withstand the season. It's still way too early to say they're really back at the moment. They need to play a good consecutive amount of games yet before we know that their injuries are not going to reoccur. But very promising to see those two back. Yeah, very difficult to take many other positives out of that though. We still have a long way to go next season. In these match reactions, my thoughts are a little bit rambled because I come on and just kind of talk and try and put a video out. My other videos throughout the week, I will be a lot more articulate with my thoughts and maybe hopefully a little bit funny. But I don't know how interesting these reactions are going to be for people because my thoughts might not be the best articulated and I might ramble on a little bit. But yeah, now it's a sad way for both Luka Modric and Lucas Vasquez to go out, of course, on a game like that. I mean, PSG, they're the best team in the world right now, aren't they? I mean, they really are. They're what a special team. I mean, I've been watching football 20 years, and I would say this is the first real time. It is the first time PSG have ever been a powerhouse in world football. I mean, they legitimately look like the best team in the world right now, and they're going to be difficult to beat in next season's Champions League. Obviously, I think we can beat them because usually you don't start a game off 2-0 down the way we did. Ridiculous from Asensio. I talked about Asensio in the half-time break, didn't I? Honestly, I was so high on Asensio last season, but this is a real reality check for him. He made a mistake earlier in the tournament, and I didn't think it was a red card when he got sent off against Pachuca, I think it was. But he came out and he said the right things. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to get better, guys. Don't worry about this. I mean, there was no evidence of that today, was there? So he's got. Luckily, Militao's back now. He's obviously not going to be starting that many games at the start of the season. He's going to be an important player for his next season, though. So he needs to get his act together. But hopefully, he'll stay away from social media a little bit because the fans will. The Madrid fans are some of the most childish, overreacting fans that you'll find around. There'll be fans here wanting him gone, buying a new centre back, all of this nonsense. Get rid of Rudiger, sell Vinicius. It was a bad day though. It was not a good performance. Right, I'm going to end it there because I haven't really got else much to say after a 4-0 loss. I'm probably not going to post a video tomorrow because I'm going to take a break from football for a couple of days. But yeah, I'll be back at the end of the week sometime. Ciao.